All right, guys, I'm gonna run through an application with you just to show you what it is, what's coming. After we talk about it, I'm gonna send you a little email like this with just some notes, some last-minute reminders. I'll let you know about a couple of those over the phone, and you're just gonna hit this apply now link, and it's gonna take you here. You'll hit continue. My stuff will show up here. Different milestones will be on the left. Documents upload here, but we're just gonna hit continue for now. Tell them what you're doing, purchasing, your legal first name. Status. No one's going to be doing that. Possession, no, I'm not military. Current address. Confirm. Continue. Password. So start that. No. Applying solo. Transaction purchase. Someone else. No. If you are applying with someone else, you're going to add them in, and you're going to basically duplicate everything that you do for yourself. Continue. Tell us what you're looking for. Start this guy. Property type. Single family. This part doesn't even matter. It's basically if it's an HOA or not, but you don't know what house you're going to buy and if it's in one or not. Say Fairfax County, home county. We'll continue. Purchase price, let's just say 400. So we got 10% down. Applying for another mortgage loan during the time. Is any part of the down payment a gift? You press yes if that is. Keep on going, continue. Are you using an agent? If you are, you've got to put their name in. Just this is all optional, but it helps me to contact them. So I'll just say no for now. Probably the oldest home buyer right now, 103 years old. So personal info, that's great. Tell us about your accounts. Start. So now you're going to start running through your assets. What we really want out of you from this application is just some brief personal info, which we did a bunch of, and we really want to see how much you have saved and how much you make every month. Those are two of the most important things on here. If you don't do it this way, we can just do it over the phone. 7-8 minutes. When I first did this business, that's how we did every single application for like 3 or 4 or 5 years. But if you have online banking credentials at any of these places, it could be, there's a ton of them that aren't going to be listed on here right away. There could be a bunch of these other institutions. I'm just trying to type in a bunch now so that you get an idea. TD Bank, you could have, log in there, and then you'd really just enter in, your credentials there. I don't want to link this account. I'm just not going to go forward with it because I don't have TD Bank. But if you don't link it that way, given your online credentials are just incredibly safe, they say it's way safer for you to do this credential version instead of you guys sending in your bank accounts via email, fax, or even uploading them to the system. And when you do that online credential login, it's going to make sure that we don't have to keep on collecting the same PDF statements of those accounts time after time again, because we will, over the course of time and getting you all the way up to closing, have to refresh a lot of those bank statements. But if you don't do the link, you can just say, whatever you have saved up there, just a verbal. It doesn't have to be down to the very last penny. Let's say I have $30,000 saved up there. Then let's say I have another TD Bank account. Let's say I have checking, and that's, 5,000. Continue. Add another account. Let's say I have the rest of my money for this saved up at Vanguard. Continue. Again, I'm not going to do the online bank account link here, but I'm just going to enter it manually. It's basically the quickest way to do it. Okay, so let's just say I have 25 grand there. It's going to satisfy the $40,000 down payment and closing costs on 10% down for a 400K home, and that's it. That's all the assets. Just say you're all done. Go to the next part. Now you talk about your income. We need a 2-year income history. So let's say most of you guys are going to be writing in 1 employment item or 2. We need a consecutive 2-year history. If you're self-employed, you'll take this route or this route, but most of you guys are going to go here. You don't even have to put in the address, but you really just put in maybe a corporate phone number, but you really want to put in the start date. Okay, this is required. So start date. So 8/2 is today's date, so we need to see at least 2-year history. If you started before 8/2/2020, or excuse me, if you started that job after 8/2/2022, then you would have to put in your previous job before that. Or if you were a student, you would just say that you were unemployed and you were a student, and that's fine for that. So I'm going to say I started there 01/01/2022. Job title, sales 10 years. Lawyer, family member, property seller agent, no. Pay type, you can put either one here. Base salary, let's say I make $100,000. And then you put in these other items here. Overtime, bonus, commission, if you do get that or any other types, I'm going to need to see your year-end pay stubs, the final ones you received in December of the last 2 years, to actually calculate all this stuff. So, phone number and address. So I have 2-year history. Continue. Do you have any other sources of income? A lot of people are going to have Social Security. They could have alimony, child support. If you have something that you don't know if it counts or not, just put it in there. But don't be shy about showing income. The more that we know, the better. Let's say I have a pension from, let's say I worked in the FBI for years. My father, let's say I have a decent little pension, so I've got now my current income. But as you see there, just put in your other income sources like that. It's boom, just that quick. So there we go. All done with the employment, income, and assets. Again, the 2 most important parts that I was saying that we needed. If you have a real estate asset, you'll put it in here. 345, Baker Street, California, whatever. How do I use this property? Let's say just rent it out. You're going to be answering easy questions like this. Look at how a lot of these questions just come up and hop in. If you have any questions like this, you can hit me up after. But anything you put in here, I'm still going to verify with you afterwards. Have a property, rent it out. Say you make $2,000 a month on it. If there's any mortgages, you type that in here. The rest of the dues, the home payment, they want you to put in here. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about this if you have another piece of real estate. Let's see how much it's worth. Let's say I'm done adding property. Now we're at the declarations page. We're getting down to the end. Start this section. Do you have a family relationship or business affiliation? No. Most of these answers are going to be no. Mortgage on with someone else on another property. Past 7 years, foreclosure, short sale. It's going to ask you about bankruptcies, any judgments, current delinquent. Most of the stuff is going to be no. Are you a co-signer for anything we don't know about? Are you borrowing any money? Declared bankruptcy, obligated to pay alimony, child support, separate maintenance. This is a big one. This will be commonly put on here by people, and literally just say how much it is. What type is it? It's child support, and it's let's say it's $800. Gotta let us know when the child turns 18. Say it's 5 years left. That's just for an example. It's a short one. Then we're going to ask you, are you a citizen, or if you're not a permanent resident alien? And we'll ask you more on that. If you're a non-permanent resident alien afterwards, I'll ask you what kind of visa you have. Then demo, I'm a male. This is really just for government collection purposes. They want to know who is applying and who's getting approved and at what rates. So, are you Hispanic or Latino? What type? You can put in a subsection here, or you can just say I don't wish to provide. You don't have to answer this stuff. Same for the race question. You can do that if you want. It doesn't really bother me. And then you confirm all that there. Just writing down random stuff here. Have you owned property in the last 3 years? So this is big. If you're a first-time buyer, you haven't owned property in the last 3 years. So this is a big question. We got to know this one. Just haven't been on title to anything. And then they'll ask you, what you used it for. If you had a joint with your spouse, yada yada yada. language you want to speak. Continue. How many children you have. Say 2, and then their ages, 2 and 1, for example. We're basically at the end. A lot of this is just extra questions. But we're about done. You review it all. Submit. And continue. By clicking submit, authorizes to obtain a copy of your credit report. Yep. We do need to do that. So you can talk on the phone with me about that if you have any questions about that part. And then at this point, now you complete your documentation uploads. So based on your financial situation, it's going to give you different items. It's going to ask me for my pay stubs to Dunkin' Donuts, tax returns over the last couple of years, regardless of who you are, especially if you're self-employed. You're going to absolutely need that to qualify your income. You'll see here, I'll get this when you submit it. Got to see your ID. But this part is super easy. And then you can come back to this whenever. Remember, you had a login. So after you submit, you can get out of this and then come back in, log in another time with all this stuff. Because you might not have all this stuff like right away. And that's okay. We don't want you to break your back. And I don't expect you to have every single item right away. But the stuff that's easy to grab it, upload it. And it's going to help me out a lot. Figure out what your true qualification is. So you just literally upload manually for like all this stuff. So that's how it works for all these items. And at this point, really, the application is done. We just need you to throw in as much as you can. So that's it. And then I'll call you afterwards, and after I've reviewed all this, and then I'll clarify anything on there I need to. I'll definitely need your pay stubs. That's like the most important part of all this. I really want to see your bank statements, make sure there's no recent large deposits in there over the last 2 months. Nothing that could then not be used for down payment closing costs. And then we're going to have the application summary call after this. Eventually, we're going to schedule out 45 minutes to an hour for first-time buyers. Repeat buyers, it's going to be maybe 20, 30 minutes max. But that's always going to depend based on person. So that's basically it. That's the online application. Not that difficult. And I hope that made sense. If you have any questions on it, let me know. And hope to see you submit yours soon. Thank you.